All right, guys. Welcome to the Get Bit Podcast. The podcast for blurs, for nerds, for freaks, for anybody that has a fandom. For all of us that got stuck during the snow in the South because Mother Nature decided to lose her freaking mind. Welcome. I'm your host, Will Buchanan. Of course, the man to my right. I'm wondering what he's going to come up with this time, but go ahead.
Being able to cast a spell to just make people forget about Mysterio. It's me, Joe Tonello.
And of course, we got the man, the myth, the legend that is actually showing below me right now. Shadow, how you doing, man?
I'm here. That's about it. It's been that kind of week.
That explains everybody's attitude toward the South right now. I understand.
It
I don't know what you're talking about. I had to go to work.
We had a sunny Christmas. We had tornadoes for New Year's. And snow this week. Why?
Tomorrow it's going to be 50.
Again, Mother Nature is playing Hold My Beer right now. Actually, you know what Mother Nature is doing? Mother Nature is literally a D&D game that's doing critical roles, and it's just coming up ones right now.
God, you're right.
That's what it is. Mother Nature right now is the bard in the party, and she's rolling ones.
Bruh.
That's about the best way I can put that.
Oh, my God.
But with that being said, guys, before we get started, this is a family-friendly podcast. We should try to be. We do try to watch our language. Sometimes words do fly, but hey, it's the nature of the business. Usually when we're showing trailers, we don't mute them anymore. We've been lucky on the DMCA side of the world that they haven't banned us or muted us. But if we ever did show anything, and if some things might be too intense for younger viewers, some viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. Now, as me and Joe, and I'm so glad that me and Joe are here, and especially having Shadow here, that we can finally discuss Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, if you have seen the title of this, it is spoilers. I put it in the asterisks. I put it in capitalization. I have sat there and said for the last 3 weeks, I have sat there and said since December 17th of last year that we are going to have a full-on podcast about Spider-Man No Way Home in its full entirety. If by now you have not yet seen it,
Something wrong with you.
I mean, you ain't wrong, but this may not be the podcast because this is basically going to take up our podcast this tonight because we have a lot to say about it. And you've been warned. So again, if you're still watching this after all said and done, that's on you. So, Joe, I'm gonna let you go first. Before we really get into it, what did you overall think of Spider-Man No Way Home?
This is still the second best Spider-Man movie there is.
All right, Shadow, what did you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. It's an experience, and I'm glad to have been able to experience it not once, not twice, but 3 times in the theater because it's wild, man. It's just wild. It's wild, bro. There's so much to geek about, to just be filled with such nostalgia about. There's even some stuff to nitpick about. But it all mashes up into this just amazing second, third entry in the Spider-Man movie that we've gotten, and is clearly the best third entry of any Spider-Man movie that we've gotten.
See, I want to get to that moment. I want to get to that momentarily. But for me, I'm with Joe on that one. It is the second best Spider-Man movie ever. I still say, in my opinion, Into the Spider-Verse was still the greatest Spider-Man movie so far. So it's kind of really hard to top that. And Kelly, you said best Spider-Man movie ever. She also said, Shadow, she feels the same way about the weather this week. So you ain't alone. But
it also inadvertently gives the finger to Iron Man, thus making Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire the first MCU movie.
I could argue that.
Yeah.
I could argue that. Because I did see the meme where it was like where Tobey Maguire was like, I'm the Godfather, I'm the one that started the MCU. I'm
Look
like,
but you right now.
But you really kind of didn't.
No, you didn't. So everyone can make that meme and that joke. It's it's a mixed bag. I mean, if they really, really want to say, well, who's the father of the MCU? Blade.
Yeah,
We wouldn't have any of this
that is
without
true.
Blade.
No,
But
the very first one would have to be the trial of the Incredible Hulk because he teamed up with Daredevil.
He's not wrong.
The trial of the Incredible Hulk.
Oh man,
He also got a really good lawyer.
I mean, you're
Not wrong.
You're not wrong by any sense of the name. You're not wrong. But but overall, like I said, just going into Spider-Man No Way Home. Let's be honest. For a lot of us, like I said, with me, Joe, and Shadow, we were all more than likely on the 17th, or probably in the early mornings of the 17th, probably somewhere in a movie theater watching it. And I want to be honest with you guys, and I have to give Kelly, because Kelly was with me when we went to go see it, and she had the best answer to this, that there is just something about going to the movies on an opening night, because let me stress this very heavily when I say real fans, because some people are about to get offended when I say this. I don't mean that you're not a Marvel fan. What I do mean is that you have those folks that have been looking so forward to this that when we finally get validated, we can't help but exude our jubilation. Yeah. Like for example, we were all waiting for that infamous scene in Spider-Man No Way Home when he was in lockup, and we thought in lockup we were going to see Charlie Cox also playing, of course, Matt Murdock, known as Daredevil, but that was Marvel's red herrings all over the place, because the place we thought we were going to see him was actually different, because we actually saw him there. I saw him in the home in Peter and Aunt May's home. And when you see Matt Murdock, I mean, in my opinion, and of course, I'm going to throw it to you guys too as well. When you guys see Daredevil, I'm like, when you see Daredevil, it's like, for me, Charlie Cox is the epitome of what I believe Matt Murdock should be moving forward in Daredevil. Which, no disrespect to Ben Affleck, bruh, it wasn't you, it was the writing. I can go down that whole line, but watching Netflix's Daredevil gave us two great things: a wonderful kick-ass Daredevil and a beautiful man playing Kingpin, which, again, me and Joe have both said we were happy to see him in Hawkeye. I know, Shadow, you were probably happy to see him in Hawkeye as well. But again,
the Spider-Man costume of all things.
Yes. But it was amazing as far as the crowd. I mean, when they saw Matt Murdock come on the screen, the crowd it was almost similar to Endgame when you saw Captain America pick up Mjolnir.
And for everyone saying, "Oh, I wish people would stop clapping in the theater," shut up. Shut up.
Well,
let us enjoy.
When it becomes a hindrance to you watching the movie, like when I went to go see it a second time, I did have to put my hand on a person to go, like, be okay, buddy.
So I mean, okay, so I don't know. I just feel like I'm always in the right theater for that type of stuff, because it ain't just me clapping; it's the entire theater clapping. Right. So we don't care at that point.
Clapping's fine. I have no problem with that. But when you're trying to watch a movie and someone's bouncing up and down and shaking and slamming against you while you're trying to watch a movie,
okay, well,
there's the point where
that's a little too much.
That's extreme.
I mean,
I'm gonna punch you at that point.
I mean, hell, my nieces and nephews behaved better than that, and I took
them,
and they were hooting and hollering when they recognized. And I just love watching. That was my favorite thing about taking my nieces and nephews, and my girlfriend and her son. And you see a look on their faces when they recognize characters, and they're like, and just the look in their eyes. I'm like, you know what? That's worth it. But that's a whole other thing. But no, but yeah, seeing Charlie Cox pop up and the whole thing of this is why I was kind of mad, because I saw this pop up on Twitter. It was #ReallyGoodLawyer, and of course we saw a little bit. And let's be honest, we all kind of geeked out when we saw the brick come through the window. And of course, Charlie Cox, in his natural fashion, caught it. And you see Peter look at him and say, "How did you do that?"
What?
It was just the I'm a really good lawyer. And that, I mean, probably on that note, I could expect them because I was like, are we going to see? It kind of led to that buildup of, okay, are we going to see Daredevil in this movie, or are we just going to see Matt Murdock in this movie? And I'm like, did you guys think the same way when y'all saw that, or did y'all?
No, I don't. I knew we probably weren't getting Daredevil, but I knew they were going to at least acknowledge that Charlie Cox is the Matt Murdock for this world.
Right.
Now that go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, no. So first of all, I got heavy '90s animated vibes because all the team ups that I see come from that. Spider-Man, Iron Man, Homecoming, boom. Spider-Man and Daredevil, this movie, boom. Right. Spider-Man and freaking Doctor Strange, like all the team ups that I grew up watching in the '90s series, I'm seeing now in live action. So like that's another bump of nostalgia. But and this is a whole like probably different video. I'm actually working on it. We know these aren't the same characters. Now, same actors, characters, yes, but we know, thanks to Loki, variants exist in this universe.
Right.
So, even though Kevin Feige strongly, for a very long time, was always against and not for the, like putting them in the MCU. So all that has to be explained is, oh, well, yeah, same actors, but these are just variants. So there's probably those slight little differences, like with some stuff that Kingpin did in Hawkeye, which, that's a whole thing. But yeah, so like variants. So not going to be like the same experiences, maybe. Who knows? It might have been the same full storyline, but I was so excited about that anyway. And that was the first thing that popped in my head. Like, okay, hold up. Like, I'm sitting there screaming, yeah! But I'm like, hold up. Is that a variant or is that the same one? It makes you ask questions.
Yeah, and that's what makes it great. What did Kelly say? The crowd went wild on the first night. We laughed, we cried. It was awesome. Yeah, it really was. But to go to your point, though, yeah, it is about the variants, and of course, seeing and I'm not gonna lie, I was more excited about seeing the villains a little bit. I was excited about seeing Alfred Molina reprise his role as Doc Ock, and the whole "Hello, Peter." And it's like you just waited for that moment of just it's almost like it. Some actors can just take a tagline, and make it iconic. I mean, let's be honest. Michael Keaton, you hear "I'm Batman." We're all jumping. Yeah. You hear Captain America, hear Chris Evans, I could do this all day, which thank you, Joe, for that wonderful song in Hawkeye that I now cannot get out of my head. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that now.
Watching the whole thing from start to finish at the end of Hawkeye, it was the best Christmas present I didn't know I wanted.
I was like, it was the meme that Joe put up where apparently Sam and Bucky had went to go see it.
I saw that.
I was like, he's like, well, Barton said it was terrible, and you took us anyway. I was like, I always thought that was funny, but no, it's just the whole idea of like you said about the whole thing of team ups. And I'm not gonna lie, seeing Doctor Strange, and it was like, okay, when I first saw Doctor Strange and he was dressed up like in typical New York fashion with the cape of levitation, I'm like, this is not Doctor Strange. And of course it was, but shout out to Wong though.
Man.
Shout out to Wong, because if there was ever a person who literally and figuratively could have helped out and sat there and said, nah, y'all got it. if Bump This Mess I'm Out was ever a person, was Wong.
It's Wong. It's always Wong. He was like, oh, that ain't involving me. I'd see y'all next time.
But I was laughing, but it does bring up some things that now he's a Sorcerer Supreme. Which
okay.
Go ahead.
I get it, but it's like, wait, what?
That he won on technicality?
What? Like, did you not see this man throw? I don't see you out here throwing hands with Thanos.
Right. But Strange said it best. You won on technicality, considering the fact I was gone for 5 years.
Yeah.
But it was like, but I thought it was also crazy because I had to stop myself when of course when Peter went to him and said, could you reverse time? He says, I no longer have the time stone. and I did this, and Kelly could probably vouch for this because I did this in the movie theater. What? Oh. I pulled a I kind of pulled a Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. I was like, wait, how did that happen? How'd that happen? Oh, that's how that happened. And I had to remind myself, I was like, that's right. The time
Yeah, they're currently atomized right now.
Yeah, the Infinity Stones are destroyed, and Kelly was the first person to point that out. Weren't the stones destroyed?
Not destroyed, atomized. Their particles are still active in the universe.
That's true. Fair.
Just with them being completely atomized and spread out, that is what is causing all this multiverse madness right now. Literally.
Yeah, fair enough. But I just thought that was interesting, the whole thing between him and the whole thing, because I was kind of worried a little bit that that throughout the whole Homecoming series, it always felt like Peter always had to have a mentor or a guide, if you think about it. That, of course, now in No Way Home, it kind of felt like Doctor Strange was kind of leading him a little bit, to where it's like, I was worried up until the end of the movie that, is this going to be Peter's theme throughout the entire MCU, that eventually he's got to step out on his own? Right. But I mean, the end of the movie kind of helped out with the end of the movie, made me feel a lot better.
Like, it was literally in the contract with Sony that there had to be a MCU mentor in it. And like you said, I'm glad the ending basically just kicks that and negates it and starts over from scratch. So I understand why they were doing it, because it was part of the big deal and everything. Going forward, now we know that. But like, it was funny you said that, bro. It's literally in the contract. Like
yeah,
that's a meme in itself right there.
But I mean, the whole thing with him and Strange fighting, I was like, and then Strange astral punched him. He's like, how are you doing this?
That was so cool. Like, seeing the little squiggly lines.
Yes.
It was so cool.
And Strange was like, how your body should not be able to do this. I'm like, well, it's a spider sense. Even apparently when you punch the soul out of him, his body's still gonna react. But I just thought that was pretty cool, especially, like I said, going back to the villains. I love the fact that they gave Jamie Foxx the character I wish they would have gave him in Amazing Spider-Man. Because I'm going to be honest, for all those if you've never seen Baby Driver, first and foremost, Baby Driver, wonderful movie. You should definitely watch it. The reason why I point that out, Jamie Foxx's character in Baby Driver, it's a little bit similar to how he played Electro in No Way Home, which was way different than it was in Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I still say to this day, I don't think it's Jamie Foxx's fault. You know, when you've been given crap, you have to make it work. I didn't like the way they portrayed Dylan in Amazing Spider-Man 2, you know, with the whole turning him blue and, you know, making him look like a mass of just makes it actually, you know what? It's like if you mix slime, toothpaste, and you just eroded it to a freezing point. That's how Electro looked in Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I always hated that. But it's amazing that now it's almost like in No Way Home. It's like, okay, you revamped them. And I'm like, it was as Dr. Connor said completely in the movie, you got a makeover.
Literally.
He said this world has treated you pretty good. And I love the fact that Fox's character got so much more screen time. And it was kind of it was villain / comic relief, because he had some points in there where it's like, especially at the beginning where he meets him. So y'all just gonna sit there and ignore the fact I'm just butt ass naked in the woods right now.
I am. I'm freaking Sandman. I am.
You see Marco. You see Floyd. You see Marco go, yeah. It's like, and you're seeing Tom Holland's character like, I'm trying not to look. He's like,
his character in the movie just made it 10 times better than what it was in Amazing 2. And the reason for his turn, I guess, or his reasoning in the entire movie, it's not like out of nowhere. It's literally built in his DNA, in his new mutated DNA. Like, Oh, I'm not just evil for evil's sake. I'm not. I'm not the green guy, which we're going to talk about a little later, because that boy.
Yeah, he's not.
But
He's chaotically neutral.
He's literally attracted to power, and
Yeah.
you're in the universe now where a guy built the most single powerful, most clean energy system in a box. I mean, in a cave with a box of scraps, and you sitting there feeling that all over. Because I mean, think about it. Smaller pieces of Stark arc reactor check, I'm pretty sure are all over this universe. Like it's something that you don't ever think about. But I'm pretty sure they took that, downsized it, and made a market out of it. I mean, it's something I can see Tony and them doing. So it's all over this universe, and you sitting right there next to the he's gonna be attracted to it. It's gonna make him go, oh, you know what? I like that. Let me grab that.
But I love that as a brilliant piece of story writing, because they try to say, well, the power there is different from my universe.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like the fact that that's how you gave him his makeover, and the whole thing of, Connor's still being full on lizard, but even he had his points. Especially he's like, that ain't no way. He's like, ain't no way it's his girlfriend. I was like, how messed up is that you have a room full of villains and they're all roasting you? It's like everybody roasted. Everybody had a shot at you.
They work. So, and go back to Spider-Man 3, 07.
Okay.
We all thought, we all said the biggest problem was that there was too many villains, which, yes, this to an extent, there's way more problems in the movie. But
that's true.
But this shows what a somewhat Sinister Six movie would look like, where you can have them all bounce off of each other and their antagonists, and actually work well as both comic relief, but still like, we're the threats. We're gonna kill you.
Well, it was actually, but at the same time, you're right. There was a hierarchy too. It's like there was an alpha among them, and we would be remiss if we did not recognize the man himself, William Dafoe. Which props to him, because that man did all his own acting. He did all his own acting. He did all his own stunts. Every time you saw him, that was him. And I think that man is in his 50s, I think. I want to say mid-50s, I want to say, if I'm right. But the fact of anybody else, because I cannot imagine anybody else playing Green Goblin in the same sense that William Dafoe could play Joker. DC, are you listening?
Yeah.
We've been saying it for decades. The man has range. And I have to give it to him, because if Oscar's going to be handed out, William Dafoe should be considered on that one, because the performance he did in this one, that was some Oscar-worthy praise, especially the whole point of, having that dual personality. And I keep saying this all the time. You can tell when certain actors can play certain villains so well that they are, you literally and figuratively cannot separate them. Like Mark Hamill, to me, his animation voice for the Joker will never be topped.
Nope.
Just like I can't think of the guy's name who voiced Batman, and now it's
Kevin Conroy.
Thank you, Kevin Conroy. You hear him as Batman, play the animated series. To me, undeniable. You see William Dafoe as the Green Goblin, and I mean from normal, shattered, destroyed Norman Osborn to straight up to 0 F's given. I mean, 0 F's given, because that dude, it's just when you see great acting like that, I'm like, dude, we all knew how it was going to go. Like, of course, Peter wanted to fix everybody, and he did fix Otto. I'll give him that. He did fix Otto. He almost fixed Jamie Foxx, but Jamie Foxx didn't like the fact of, hey, the thing that made you great is about to be taken away from you. And
great speech, by the way.
Yeah. And I like the fact of, about Marco, he was kind of in the hanging back situation. He's like, man, I don't want to be a villain. I just want to go home.
Yeah. He's like, look, I'm just here. I got pulled over.
Right.
I don't know this Peter, so I'm not gonna like immediately team up with him. But like, I ain't really with y'all, so I'm just gonna like wait until see how this plays out. Oh, it's popping off. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave real quick, and then I'm gonna come back and be weird for a second. Like, hey, I just want to go home. Hurry up. I'm like, hey, Marco, if you just stop for a minute, they literally trying to make you home. Like, chill.
Marco, you know what Marco reminded me of? Marco reminded me of that old guy that was just ready to go home. No matter what, it's like,
yes,
bro, I'm just ready to go home.
I'm done. Can we leave now? But yeah, so Green Goblin. Okay, first of all, it literally pulled me right back to 02 Spider-Man. Like,
yeah,
the instant change, the way the certain inflections he has in the actual Goblin voice, when it goes from just like whining like, "Oh, Peter," to "and I watched behind her cowardly eyes."
that switch, right?
That switch and the mannerisms he does, and oh my god, okay. So we saw like at the very end the kind of brutal fight between Toby's Peter and Goblin. Like he was throwing haymakers and you could hear him. Yeah. But in this movie, like, and see, it's a point on Tom Peter too. We've never seen him like fight anybody.
He laid into him.
He's always either like fought drones or got his ass handed to him by Cap, but he's never like just outright like shown physical combat against somebody. Right. So to have it be against one of the only other people who can match him in power,
that was something else.
The physicality, like, okay, first of all, I like the spin move where he hops up, does the web and slams him down. That's a straight up video game move right there. Love that. And then he's just sitting there getting tossed, ragdolled, and he's like, "Oh, the power! You got the power to save me, but you don't want to use it." Da da da. And then Lizard throws him back. First of all, he does the widow move and tries to scissor him. He gets caught, so then he just starts whanging on his head, punching him, and Goblin's just laughing like, ha 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 ha. I'm like, bro, first of all, yes, love that. But then this man, I don't even know how they were up at that point, but I'm pretty sure he knocked this man through the whole building.
Yeah.
Like in my video, I just straight geeked out for that. Like I would watch that over and over again on loop, and just how brutal of a beating Tom Peter took in this movie. Then the end fight. Where he's ready. Like he's ready. I want to kill you myself. First of all, love
that
Darth
line.
Peter.
That line right there was good.
Love it. And then you can see him smile like, finally, you're there now. Let's go.
Because he broke him. So then, when you saw that, it's like when you said
good.
When you see, that's why I said it's the whole, like you said, it was just the whole chemistry where you see them. When you see him, it's like, I want to kill you myself. And he's like you said, he finally smiled like, there he is. It's almost like you want to say, there he is. Yeah. That's who I've been waiting for. But you're right, because Peter, when they show that fight scene at the end and he's pulling, I mean, he wasn't pulling those punches and the other one saw what was going on. It's like, oh, crap, he might actually kill him. It's like,
right?
It's like we just sat there and told him not to go down this dark path. It's like, oh, shoot, he's headed that way.
Let's go help him out.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, well, you mentioned those other two guys. Do you want to go ahead and go ahead and talk about that?
Go ahead. Actually, Joe, I'm sorry.
Man, we had.
So all the way back at the start of the movie.
And okay, so actually, joke aside, I love that this immediately, once the spell hits. Mm-hmm. You don't care about Mysterio anymore. Like that whole plot. Oh, my identity. It's gone. I love that it was just all set up. Once that spell hits and the other villains come through, nothing else from previous Spider-Man movies outside of the original ones matter anymore. Because at that point, it's on its new path to lead into its new story, and I really love how it set that up and then just forgot about it. Like, okay, we're done. We used you. Thank you, Mysterio. Bye, peace. We ain't never hearing from you ever again. Like the whole, I'm gonna pull this card up right here. I'm gonna play this, and is he still alive? It don't matter. It does not matter because now
we never saw
they are in a brand new path, and the way that path ends, and who he meets along the way.
Yeah, but before Joe gets started, we never saw a body. But go ahead, Joe.
So as I was saying, all the way back at the start of the film, it was nice that we picked up almost immediately after No Way Home. In fact, we picked up with the end credit, with the after credit of the second film. It was nice. I like that we alluded to She-Hulk without anybody noticing.
Wait. Okay,
Where?
yeah. What?
Where?
When? How?
Well, Matt Murdock said he's a good lawyer, but Happy needs a better lawyer.
Oh.
Yeah, that flew right over my head.
Okay, I was still over like, I'm a really good lawyer. And I was okay. You know what? Dang it, Joe. I always
that one flew right over my head. I can't say that.
Okay. No. Okay.
We also were ignoring the sixth member of the Sinister Six in this movie.
Yeah, but that's a very controversial. Wait, you're not talking about the real one, are you? You talking about the other one?
Which one do you think I'm referring to?
You can say it.
Okay, the actual sixth one they brought in was Venom, but he didn't do nothing.
No.
Okay, yeah. Who are you talking about?
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
Shout out to J.K. Simmons.
J.K. man, his variant in this is just great. I missed the hairdo, but
well, this timeline didn't trust his barber, so that's why it looks like that.
Also, I'm still like kind of hating of his glow up. It took one post about Spider-Man's identity to go from YouTube basement studio to doggone side room with a whole news plan. I'm like,
well, yeah, but I mean, that also shows a realistic thing. All you got to do is get one good post out there and you're set.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you're also the Alex Jones ripoff, which was not subtle either.
No.
To the point where that gentleman actually addressed that himself and he was not happy with it, which, oh well.
He'll be all right.
No one cares.
Nobody cares.
The scariest thing about that is Peter actually got his wish from the original movies that he wanted to be known. I wanted to be the most popular person there was, and then he gets it.
Yeah.
And then we see his life
still broke.
Get destroyed literally from, I believe, summer vacation all the way through Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay,
or,
so
like the week before Christmas. Like
timeline, this is still in 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does this mean this is a year before Hawkeye or
no, during Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
So
all of this is literally happening as Hawkeye's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know like what the writers of Hawkeye were talking about, but there's no way canonically that Clint hasn't spent 2 Christmases without his family. So having it in 2023 with the Battle of Earth, fine. Y'all rebuilding Earth, getting a lot of stuff together. Christmas might not matter at that point. The year later, hey, we're gonna spend all of Christmas together. That's the more feasible thing. So Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Shang-Chi to an extent, 2024.
Yeah.
A lot of little things that I noticed in the film the second time around, like the news reports about the Statue of Liberty being changed.
Yeah.
You noticed the majority of New York was not for that.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
They did not like the fact that it was a shield. I mean, the shield repels, the torch welcomes.
Right. Which again in the song, we'll blame you for later, but you're good for now.
Yeah.
The most messed up part of the song.
Honestly, like I get what they were going for, but if you're just gonna do that, just build a memorial at the Avengers compound. Simple as that.
Well, that's why I think where Hawkeye didn't want to touch it. That's why I was saying they had that little wall because in Hawkeye he goes over and goes to the memorial, and of course the memorial of the first group of Avengers are there.
Yeah,
and that's flashbacks about Natasha, which is kind of interesting that they kind of had this wall between Hawkeye and No Way Home, but they're both happening at the same time, though.
So if we wanted to space them out, I would say No Way Home happens like a couple days to maybe a week.
Yeah.
Before, because when Yelena gets there, she lists off her, oh, I'm in New York. Well, I want to see the new and improved Statue of Liberty and do all that. So, like, the time frame for that being messed up and then intact, it could not have been long.
True.
So,
I mean, you got a point, but well, go ahead, Joe. What else you got? What else did you want to? I mean, I know we kind of left you kind of in the back. Sorry about that.
Like I said, I was just noticing a lot of little things. The deli store comes back repeatedly. The card Doc Ock throws is the serial number for his first appearance comic.
Yep.
Just Alfred Molina alone. Fantastic job. I like that the suit is permanently damaged and has a piece ripped out of it until Doc decides to give that piece back to the suit.
Yeah.
I also like that Peter does not own an actual nice suit. He has like the crappiest suit possible and still doesn't. And you know, the other thing is I'm not a fan of Doctor Strange being upset with him over something so simple because he really doesn't know better.
He really doesn't.
I mean, well,
but that's what kind of makes it great,
if you yourself did not get accepted to the college you wanted and you had the grades and everything, do you yourself, is that the first thing you think of is, I can call to myself and ask why? No.
You think about the most powerful person ever, you want to ask
them. As for why, to answer Shadow's thing on why Clint didn't spend 2 Christmases with him, the second Christmas would have probably been rounding up Avengers Tech off the streets. Right, and we already know his wife is more than down with that because she's like, hey, can you go get my watch?
Yeah.
She's Mockingjay.
I love that.
She's Mockingjay.
She's I want to say she's a Mockingbird. Like, I want to hope they play, because there's so many different ways they could actually play with that. Like, it could be the Americans version of the Widow program. Or she could just be Mockingbird, which is fine too. But in that case, I want to see her fight.
The Hawkeye thing, I see Clint, and this is like a small tangent. I see Clint missing the second Christmas to start helping round up Avengers Tech that was taken from when the compound was destroyed. Okay. Because we already see there's a black market for it in Hawkeye. Yeah. And Lord knows what was in that thing other than just the Ronin costume, the sword, and his wife's watch.
But that's also leading to the armor.
That's what they had to go track down and try and reacquire.
But that's leading to Armor Wars. That's basically the whole setup for Armor Wars.
Oh, Armor Wars is its own thing, and I don't know why they're doing Armor Wars without a Tony Stark, but
if you look at it, also No Way Home sets up some plot points for. Okay, so Peter got his wish. Everyone forgot who Peter Parker was. That doesn't mean everyone forgot that Spider-Man was involved with Stark technology that blew up London, pretty much. So Stark Tech is still under investigation at the end of the movie. So I think between that, missing stuff from Avengers Tower, I think all of that is going to play into, of course, with the armor stuff, is going to play into Armor Wars, because if that shipment of arc reactors that Happy Hogan was trying to get to at the end of Homecoming, if that actually finally did get rounded up and made it back to the Avengers compound, and then got blown up and spread out everywhere.
Right. I mean, it like I said, for the way No Way Home, it does set up for a lot of parallels. I just thought it was interesting that, it was almost a love letter, because a lot of people were sitting there saying, because we now see that Andrew Garfield has been Andrew Garfield came out and sat there and said that he would be open to do Spider-Man.
If it felt right to him.
If it felt right. Tobey Maguire has sat there and said that he wants to come back and do
Secret
Spider-Man.
Wars.
Which again, Kevin, KF, and MCAU would love to have them both back in the Secret Wars. So
now, we do need to preface this for people that do not understand. We are not talking about the Jason Aaron 2017 Secret Wars.
right.
We are talking about the 1984 Secret Wars. Hulk holds up a mountain. Spider-Man gets the black suit.
Mhm.
Thor gets beaten to a pulp. Doom gets powers. The Beyonder still wears disco pants.
I'm
Sh-
talking
Shiny-
about
Shiny gets the disco
2017
pants.
run.
No, we can't have 2017 because
Not
the Joker 2020
fully.
is Miles.
Well, not the full spectrum, but I honestly, and this might be me just being biased, I would want to see a smaller adaptation of that one with God Doom than the original. But that's just me.
They might. They
Why
actually.
Doom isn't
They
both
actually
of
may
them?
combine both.
They
see-
could like do elements.
I could see elements from both just because of what they have currently in characters right now.
Yeah.
Because
And who's coming?
right. So I think they're gonna do a hybrid of both.
If anything, the
Especially
Secret Wars is going to be closer with, in theory, because we have no source for this, but the Secret Wars looks to be more lining up with, of all things, the Spider-Man's 90s Secret Wars.
I can see
Hey,
that.
I'm down with that.
But I still
Again,
thought
team ups. That's my team ups right
Don't
there.
get me wrong. There's like some things I wish that we had gotten in the movie. Like I would have really liked to have seen Strange in the sewers,
fighting
moaning
Lizard
and
Man.
griping, fighting the lizard. A
Like,
lot
what
of
is
people
this thing?
I know complained about the lizard being in the truck. It's like, well, he's not going to look great in a well-lit area, which I agree. But
Yeah,
if you
no.
pay attention to the movie, the lizard also just point blank goes, "Well, he's in the truck." Like, all right, well, I guess it's time.
Yeah.
Well,
He
it's
knew
almost
something was going to break, and he
Oh,
just
yeah.
didn't want to be up there.
well, it's almost like the lizard knew that chaos was going to ensue in that
Oh, yeah, of course.
moment. That's all he was waiting for. He's like, and Q. It's like,
I told you there'd be consequences, Peter.
And Connor just point blank knows that in a room full of chaos, the worst thing's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the Feast Center, it was a nice nod to the Dan Slott era.
Yeah,
I love that Norman just kept stealing donuts out of the box.
that was funny. That was funny.
There's also a touch of Spider-Man No More, but this time it's Goblin No More. With him breaking the Power Rangers mask. I do like the transformation that his hoodie becomes the Goblin Guard, which works so much better.
Yes. Oh, it looks so
the-
good.
They are laying the elements. It's like, I promise I won't become evil and try to kill you.
It was so good.
He said the thing of I'm a scientist myself. The other thing that really weirds me out on this one, and I guess this is just an oversight, is that they said, like, well, all these people are destined to die. It's like, no, Sandman just like, all right, I'm done, bye.
Yeah.
Right.
Sandman and Lizard lived.
No, Lizard died.
No, he didn't.
He didn't.
Connors was alive in jail at the end of Amazing One because they were trying to.
I remember him being shot with a shotgun.
No, well, yeah, his hand got shot up as a lizard.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
he did shoot with a shotgun.
But no, Peter cured him, and then he got arrested because the whole plot of like the first game to that movie was he's still in jail, but we're trying to help him out. But so he Lizard and Sandman were the ones that weren't supposed to die. So
debatable with Jamie Foxx too, because you can't create or destroy energy.
Right.
And then speaking of Jamie and Dylan, let's right now try to come up with the most feasible answer to why he was actually there. Because if you know the spell, you remember the spell.
I got that one.
Those who know that you are Peter Parker and Spider-Man are one and the same. How? When did you learn it? Go ahead, Will.
I love that because me and Joe talked about this, and I got into an argument on another podcast recently, and I had to point this out. I said, I'm a grammatical person. I usually listen to every line in every movie because Marvel likes to throw stuff at us through everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for everybody that remembers, Dr. Strange says the world is about to forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And you got to remember that Peter Parker kept on messing up the spell so many times that he had to contain it. Now, what Strange says when he first encounters Otto Octavius and Lizard, he sat there and said, well, I thought the spell wasn't supposed to happen. He goes, oh, I contained the spell. But the problem is, the way the spell, he said, the problem is, those that know Spider-Man were pulled here. That was the key part. And I thought about that for a second. I had to point this out. I said, trust me, as a guy who's seen the movie 3 times, the wording was different. The spell that was done was supposed to make the world forget that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. What Strange says when they're in the inner sanctum is that those who knew Spider-Man were pulled in. Not anybody who knows Peter Parker. Those who knew Spider-Man were pulled to this universe. And so it makes sense because, of course, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, Dylan, Jamie Foxx's character, never finds out who Peter Parker was.
No.
Now it's been said, because a lot of people kind of agree that, well, if you think about it, he might find out about Peter Parker's identity later on within that universe. It's assumed. But if you go by the movie that we just watched, it still makes sense because he does know Spider-Man. He doesn't know who Peter Parker is. And even if you think about it, even when Andrew Garfield's character goes up and talks to him as Electro, he's still masked up.
True.
So it still works. I mean,
it does. I mean, he also could have put it between, because Gwen was there helping him, and I think he may have seen them together, something like that. But like I said, there's so many different ways that you could explain it feasibly. I'm just glad we got him back. Like I'm glad Jamie Foxx as Electro got a second chance, because the way he looked, first of all, came in looking just nice and clean. They're like, I like who I am here.
Yeah.
Like just a little face, just the way the stuff he says in this movie was great. But the way he looked in costume,
the most New York villain,
yes,
out of all of them.
His costume and the.
I'm not talking about the costume. I'm talking about the fact that he's a New Yorker wearing a pair of pins.
Yeah, of course. But like,
so the other thing is he appears naked. So I want to know what electrician in their right mind is going to be leaving a pair of Timbs in a shack out in the woods.
It's New York.
Now I don't know that much about
it's New York. I'm just going with that. It's New York.
Oh no, that's even one of the memes I've seen. It's like, oh, he is from New York.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, just the basic Timberlands. That's all you need. But no, I was the same way. I'm like, you have a full-on ensemble out in the middle of the woods? I said, but you know what? Don't pay attention to the man in the corner behind the curtain. Just go with it. But but no, it's like, but that's why I love it. That's one of the things I said I liked about this movie so much, was that not only because, yes, you had 3 Spider-Mans. Shout out to Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
No, let's call them what they are.
Say what?
Let's call them what they are. Very sad boy and youth pastor.
Are you gonna say Peter 1 and Peter 2?
No,
Peter 2 and Peter 3?
Sad boy.
Youth pastor. You
pastor, sad boy. I love that. Yeah.
But no, I have to give it to him because, number one, the fact of the matter is, I don't blame them for having to put up this whole defense that I'm not in the movie. I'm not in the movie.
Talking about Tobey Maguire was telling everybody he was in the movie. Only Andrew Garfield was the one denying it.
Well, to a certain extent, but you can't blame them though, because me and you both talked about this when we showed the trailer, and it's like, so you have one Spider-Man going against 3 different enemies,
right? And
they're all in different levels,
right?
Okay,
and then of course, thanks to Brazil, we already knew, because someone invisible kicked the crap out of the Lizard. So, yeah. Like, come on.
So it's like, aside from a crappy editing job, which it really was, it was by far, you would think, for one of the most anticipated movies of 2021, that you would have a better editing job than that. Because, wow. I mean, because at that point,
3 seconds.
Yeah.
3 seconds shorter. You get.
But I had to give it to Sad Boy, because Andrew Garfield's character, he went. I mean, I'll give it to him because that was Oscar worthy. You know, the whole thing about saving MJ, and it's like when he saved her at the end, And he had that moment as like, dang. And you could tell the whole crowd felt it when you went to go see it. And it was just like, are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
He starts tearing up.
Yeah.
I'm tearing up. Like he's sitting there, like, and if you look at it, really talk about it, like all of his stuff that he's saying about himself is basically what everyone has said about his storyline. But then like, he's like, "Oh, you guys fought aliens? Oh man, I'm all falling right on. I'm lame." And then you passed it. No. Go back. You're not lame. You're amazing, and I want to hear you say it. Say it with yours. You're amazing. I'm like, yes. And then,
so we actually have to cut back to Venom 2.
Okay.
In the conversation, because Venom even says that he himself is a multidimensional being.
Yeah.
So the only reason Venom knows Spider-Man, like Tom Holland Spider-Man, is because Topher Grace fought, or Tobey Maguire. Yeah,
you're right.
A Topher Grace Venom.
Yeah.
And they're all part of the same like hive mind thing.
Yeah.
So there's that. That explains that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
like that also. There's alluding there. Tobey Maguire alludes to that he's married and possibly with a child at this point.
I was hoping he just came out and said it, like okay, yeah, we made it work.
Me and MJ made it work, and we might, we're making
like,
it. Yes,
literally make and renew your vows.
I think it's complicated. It's like we have a kid.
Yeah.
That's what I'm. Yeah, so like literally make Toby's universe the Renew Your Vows universe. I'm good. Like that's
up to a certain point.
Okay, yeah, up to a certain point.
Up to a certain point.
8-year-old May is always until Spider-Geddon. 8-year-old May is better than 16-year-old May.
True. Oh, the whole thing. I knew that May was gonna die. It was like I think it was going to be set up that way. Well, it was
set up that way. We have no Uncle Ben.
Yeah, so
he's now somewhere out in New York doing stuff.
Well, true, but at the same time, the whole setup with Aunt May though. You thought she survived.
Oh, no,
he's like,
no.
I'm sorry. I thought she survived.
That was shock. Like hers being able to stand up and like still talk and walk for like half a second. That was like pure just shock and adrenaline. There was no way she was walking out of that building. No way.
But I have to give it the camera angles, because the way the camera angle was with the glider coming in, I'm like, oh crap, we're just gonna have shades of the first. We're gonna have shades of the first Spider-Man movie. Like you see the glider come in, her back is to it. I'm thinking, okay, this is kind of a whole coming of full circle kind of thing.
Goblin wasn't letting her walk out of that building. He already said, like, as soon as Peter's tingle goes off,
yeah,
and the first thing he says is May, like, that's it. It's sealed. It's done.
It was almost like he's like, I'm gonna do you a favor, Peter. Just hack. I was like, wow. Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna do you a favor, Peter. Like, and really? As twisted, as sinister as it was still perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, though, it was interesting to sit there and see, that whole thing about, you don't change who you are. With great power comes great responsibility. It's like, for a lot of us, it finally got said. I mean, it's been hinted at. Don't get me wrong, it's been hinted at, it's been talked about, but it finally got said.
And it actually got said correctly.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, there must come great responsibility. And then if you really sit and look at it and think about it, which is what we do, because that's what we do as nerds.
Yeah.
Civil War, Homecoming, Infinity War, Endgame, Far From Home, No Way Home. The longest, most complicated Spider-Man origin story of all time.
That's fair.
Okay. It took 20 years for Captain America to say 2 words.
Oh, yeah, true. But true. And I love that it was building up to that, to the ending of this movie. While very somber, very sad, very heartbreaking to a certain extent, it does what we all inherently wanted.
Yeah.
Drop the tech, be by yourself, and be Spider-Man. Now, had he continued to be, part of the Avengers and like under Stark's arm for the next, we would have accepted it. Fine, but I'm glad that we got him making his own suits from scratch because that's a staple of the comics. Him living by himself in an apartment that's actually bigger than Toby Peters when he had. But it set up and put him in a state of this is the relatable Peter Parker Spider-Man that we know and love. And going forward,
you're right.
And going forward, he's now going to take. And but see, he remembers everything.
Mm-hmm.
He remembers how to work as a team. He remembers people's names, information. He knows that Nick Fury now wasn't here with him last year. That he's been off world. So he knows that aliens exist. Like this is a Peter Parker with cheat code information. He knows shit that he shouldn't. And going forward, that's going to better him as a hero with his experiences. Now that dark streak at the end, where I want to kill you myself, that's not going anywhere.
Nah,
it's lessened because of the emotional problems that he's having to deal with and everything, but it's still there. Now he's not going to go full Garfield and be like, yeah, no, I'll stop pulling my punches for a good while. But
he will go full John Michael Barnes and scream for the shocker.
This is true. And if you look at the end of the post credit where Venom is there talking and he gets sent back, but a piece of him is left. And the last thing Eddie Brock said, and whatever Eddie says or whatever he's thinking, the symbiote does. I guess we should go talk to this Spider-Man guy in New York. Okay, well, that little sleuth, that little ooze, it's going to have a nice little long trip from Mexico to New York. And my hope for a 4, which that's a whole other video I'm trying to work on too. 3 things I want to see.
Okay.
Kraven, Black Cat, Black Suit Spider-Man. That's it.
Well, I'm gonna get to that, but hang on, Joe, before you do this. Kelly said, because I'm sorry, I missed this, Kelly, because Aunt May was on her independent woman kick butt, but they didn't have to do her like that.
So I can actually comment to that. Yes, they did because of the spell Strange cast this time, because Strange cast a different spell. This time. He made everybody forget about Peter Parker. Not that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, just flat out everybody forgot Peter Parker.
Right.
So if May didn't die, that would be far crueler than anything because she would not know she has a nephew.
Right.
So the Avengers still are aware of Spider-Man. Everybody Spider-Man is known. He is a known thing.
And he was that guy with us fighting Thanos' army.
Yeah, he was there. But no one knows he's Peter Parker. Even Happy doesn't know. It's like, how do you know May Parker? It's like through Spider-Man. That is why the other reason May had to die.
Yeah.
Because if he lived, it would be a far crueler thing knowing I can't see my aunt because
she doesn't know who I am.
Can't walk up to her, can't like go home, can't still live with her.
That's why I know her home.
And exactly. Now the parallels between this movie and the 2018 Spider-Man, it's there. And both times you got me with now 2018 Spider-Man and the way that May died in that. I guess spoiler alert for like a 4-year-old game, but that one and that choice that was made in that, I mean, that obviously resonated a little bit more than what this one did, but this one still hit because it's what was needed.
Yeah,
it's what was needed. He Tony died, cool, but that wasn't gonna be the kick to do what's right. He's already doing what's right, but he's still a kid at heart, and so now with all of the experiences that he's gone through, like I was saying earlier, he all those experiences were tied up in this with great power must there becomes also great responsibility bow that he has sitting in his soul, all those experiences, all that knowledge, and on top of that wording, that phrase going forward. So I don't even consider it her being fridge. Like that's a whole thing. But no, it needed to happen for what we're gonna get in the future. So yeah.
And that's what I wanted to get to because, like I said, I still say because just to move this because we all know that No Way Home was a great movie, but we also Sony knew that it was a great movie, and because Sony at this point still owns the intellectual properties of Spider-Man, we are already seeing, and they've already sat there and said, no, don't get me wrong. Amy Pascal and Kevin Feige have already sat there and said they're going to make 3 more Spider-Man movies. So Spider-Man will still be in the MCU going forward. That being said, however, Sony has those emboldened moments. Keep in mind, Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage has done exceptionally well. They've already hinted that Tom Hardy's Venom will meet Spider-Man sometime down the road. Morbius, although it was supposed to be released this month, has been pushed back. But that in its mind, I still think will be a great movie. Kraven the Hunter, which is basically being talked about, will also be a movie in itself. So the last question, guys, before we get to the wrap up, can we also say that Sony may take another crack at creating their own Spider-Verse universe from their side?
I mean,
they already have one.
Yeah, it's literally it's there now.
I stress this very heavily because we know that we do know about the original Sam Raimi run and then the reboot, which again I still love the reboot. The reboot was still my favorite over Sam Raimi because I think Andrew Garfield was the quintessential Spider-Man with the one-liners. I always felt like he got short. I felt he got shorted because he wasn't given a third movie.
He did.
But my question is, just to, I guess, to be a little bit more detailed, not to say they'll go on and create their own universes. Will you see them continue the universes as far as Maguire and Garfield Spider-Mans?
So I think, and I don't know if they're going to do this or not because he says he's open to it, but, I keep seeing this on the internet, but none of it's ever sourced, which is the thing I always ask for.
We got this.com.
And this is because based off one line, which is the stupidest thing ever. When Andrew's like, yeah, after Gwen died, I stopped being Peter Parker. I started being Spider-Man nonstop, and I stopped pulling my punches. We see that one poster, which is very obviously the video game, which is the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man costume on there saying murder. So everyone is tying that Andrew Garfield is the Venomverse Spider-Man. If that is the case, more power to you. I am all down for that. That's great. We already have an established Spider-Verse. I think the greater joke would be one of the portals, which could be a jump cut in a montage chase, would be Miles and 2099 jumping in a portal behind Venom and behind Andrew Garfield for no reason of just a portal opens up. They fall through. We see live action versions of Miles and 2099. And then they jump into another portal right as they turn around and nothing's there. Thus establishing the animated Spider-Verse is formally linked to all these Spider-Verses.
Yeah.
Which they also kind of like lightly did in Venom's trailer because it even says somewhere else in the Spider-Verse and it cuts to Miles.
Yeah. I just love Jamie Foxx's line.
Now, as for Toby, I'd say it's, and this is again pure conjecture, pure unadulterated theory and conjecture. We may see him pop back up in Multiverse of Madness because he is the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, and Multiverse of Madness is a Sam Raimi movie.
Yep.
Again, pure conjecture and theory on my part. I have no way of knowing if this is true. I will say that it is highly suspicious that Morbius is taking extra time. I will also say, again, pure conjecture and theory, no proof. They are adding and shooting scenes to inject Andrew Garfield into the Morbius via an after credit scene.
Wouldn't be mad about that.
No, wouldn't be mad at all because we need more Andrew. Like, I've always enjoyed, and before Tom came and kind of had a blending of both the good awkward parts and the quippy, like energetic Spider. Andrew was my definitive Spider-Man. This movie alone just reinvigorates that love for him. I never hated him.
Right.
Yes, his series may have had some issues, but I never didn't like it. I bought the Blu-ray. I still watch him. I was one in the theater that was clapping when Gwen Stacy died, and people actually looked at me like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "Hi, yeah, comic book nerd." There was no way I was going to walk out of this movie without that happening.
But sir, the timing, it's a little.
You know me, I do not care. I was like, yes. They're like, what? I was like, bro, they set it up. There was no way they were going to not have a Green Goblin in this movie and have her not die. I'm sorry.
Not to interrupt you, Shadow. I can't say anything because during Infinity War, when you saw Thanos sit down and everybody was shocked, I was cracking up laughing, and people thought I lost my mind. But I'm sorry, I can't make fun of you. Go ahead.
Because I was like, okay, cool. They did the thing. They kept their balls and actually had the balls to kill Gwen Stacy in a live action movie. Power to you. So I was more than ready for Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 3, and it never happened. Yeah. So this movie, when I gotta straight up and say it, when Garfield came in first, I was actually a bit more hyped for him than I was for Tobey. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's nostalgia right there, but to see his journey from the moment he popped out of that portal to the moment he dissolved back, where he's getting uplifting words from an older Spider-Man older than him, but he's also giving some to a younger one younger than him. He's explaining his experiences. He's showing that times got really hard after the end of my movie. Like you thought it was kind of weird how it ended on him about to take a sewer grate and knock out Rhino. Yeah. They cut it. You want to know why? Because he wasn't aiming for the horn. He was aiming for that little window and that head. He was ready to pop. He popped him. So like just knowing that he had some rough times and to see the redemption that he got in this movie, learning from Tobey, saying that one he's still a genius, and then to make the catch.
Yeah.
To make that catch. This is even shorter redemption arc than Loki got in Loki, which was 6 episodes. This was like what, a half an hour for him?
Give or take. Yep.
Give or take. Yeah, I'm hardened. I start pulling my punches. Oh, I made the catch. I did something this time. I'm worthy. Like just I'm so glad we got that. And if he is the add-on Spider-Man from right now, I'm here. Now. You asked the question. Hang on. Excuse me. You asked the question. Will they continue it? Let's honestly be real with ourselves. No. But can they continue it? Yes. Do you know how? Do I not have any in here with me? Comic books.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason why I say it, though. The reason why I say it is because Sony does not like to be one-upped. They don't like to be one-up. They don't like to be one-up. Sony does not like to be one-up with their own material. I mean, if you really think about it, like it's like Fox when Fox had Fantastic Four. Like, the first two, corny, yes, campy, yes, still made money. I still love them. Still made money. The reboot, trash. Now that Fantastic Four and X-Men and the word mutant is now under MCU's label, Fox, if they weren't owned by Disney, might feel a little bit salty because we know what the MCU is going to do with that. Mm-hmm. So how does that apply to Sony? Sony at this point realized that they did get a lot of profit. They got profits and kickbacks off these MCU movies. So this is why I sit there and say, because they saw how accepted that Garfield and Maguire's characters were, to where it's like, wait a minute, we can kind of continue their stories, or we can continue one story. Now, money wise, I mean, if I was betting on the surefire horse, it would be Garfield's character. His universe could still continue, because if you really think about it, they've already introduced Rhino. They've already introduced Lizard Man. What they didn't introduce, Scorpion. They could bring over Vulture, since Vulture already kind of exists between Sony and Disney. So Michael Keaton's character can be in two different areas at one time if they choose to. What I'm saying
variants exist. Like, and all you have to do is say one thing or prove one thing.
Right.
That Venom, Morbius, Craven, whenever it comes out, Madam Web, that's a whole different video.
That's a whole different story, but you're right.
Black Widow, I mean, not Black Cat. Mm-hmm. All they have to say, at that point, they don't have to show his face. All they have to say is, yeah, this is in the webverse. That's it.
I'm about to say, because right now MCU is kind of gearing up for King the Conqueror. So it's in the web universe.
Yeah. And he didn't have to come out of the suit. He didn't even have to talk. All you have to do is just show that version of Spider-Man swinging through or in picture, or in Morbius with the behind the scenes shot of a bus where it says "Where is Spider-Man?"
Yeah,
we don't know how long they were gone.
No,
we don't know how long they were gone.
But also, let's not forget, Across the Spider-Verse is going to be coming out very soon. So Sony could also be holding off on that as well. But I think we can honestly say as we come to a close on this, guys, I don't think we had a lot of gripes about this movie, did we?
No, we didn't.
No, I loved it.
There is one point of contention I do want to put out there is Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, they may not want to work with Kathleen Kennedy. They may just want to work with Kevin Feige.
True.
That
is possible.
Now,
you mean Amy?
Amy Pascal, thank you.
Amy Pascal, yeah.
Now, the one
don't belittle her like that. Hold on, wait a minute.
Pascal, as much as that woman, and I try not to speak ill of anybody I do not know, but as much as that woman runs her mouth, she runs her mouth in a scenario of which there has to be follow through.
Yeah.
Because remember, she said while with Kevin Feige, he's like, "Oh yeah, Spider-Man's gonna fight Venom," and you could just see Kevin Feige's like.
It's just a look. It's just a look she had on her face. But no, you got a fair point on that.
Yeah,
but before we call it, guys, I do want to let you guys know. Like Joe, do you want to let the folks know what you got going on? Because usually in your Twitch channel, you don't. It's been a while since you did Shield Mom and Pals, but you want to let people know what you're up to.
Last night.
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
my bad. I missed it.
3 hours. Now we're taking Power Ranger quotes. Now we're Shield Mom and Pals in space.
God.
I love it.
No, literally, I found a spaceship last night. Now we're in space.
I love it.
Oh, God. Where can they find your Twitch channel, Joe?
Twitch.tv Joe Italian last name. Since we are getting closer to finishing those Nice Girls from Xeon, which is Mobile Suit Gundam Operation Code Fairy, I literally only have 3 missions left before that game's done.
Nice.
I'm in the process of downloading MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. So maybe come MechWarrior Monday, or it could be I could load in Gundam Breaker 3, as I did try new Gundam Breaker, and I can't handle Super Moe Gundam. I just can't do it. Somebody did ask me, what is the difference between this one and this one? It's like, these girls are soldiers and not super cute voiced characters. I can handle one girl because she's terrifying, but I can't handle 3 girls using hyper super cute voices, doing model kits and high school hijinks. I just can't do it. I am not a
No.
There's a reason why I can go with Helena, because she's just basically the badass girl. I can do Alma because she's the quirky new pilot. I can do the other girl who's the super cute voicey one, but she drives a Dom attached to a giant weapons rack. She's the most terrifying girl out of all of them, and she's the super high-pitched cute one. I'm fine with that, but I refuse to set in a high school moe girl anime that has Gundams.
I'm impressed. And also, where can they find you on IG, Joe?
I got other stuff. We got.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I have no idea how much longer I got with Shield Mom and Pal, since I technically guess we're in season 3, which is in space. After that, we may jump into Persona, or I may finish out the Marvel series and finish out Guardians of the Galaxy on stream. After that, we may do Spider-Man or the Avengers campaign. I don't know. And then after Shield Mom and Pals, maybe Persona 5 Royale.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't know if I wanted to stick to another long-term RPG where I can barely talk because there's a cutscene for every 5 minutes for 15 minutes.
I was gonna say you could try. Well, I don't know. Do you want to try? You could try the old Mega Man games.
You mean the ones I have loaded on my Switch that I almost break the controller on?
You see, you say break controller. I say ratings.
Oh no! Keep in mind, I don't mean anger. I mean I am so focused on the game that I'm pressing the A button and it's pulling up my home screen.
Oh,
dang.
goodness. Jeez.
Right.
Yeah, I'm playing Mega Man Zero.
I was gonna say that's intense, sir.
The X collection, I'm on Mega Man X 5 and 6, and they're. Why did Mega Man X 5, 6, and 7 become such terrible games? Why? So I got the Zero collection. I forgot the Zero collection is basically the Dark Souls of Mega Man in terms of difficulty.
You ain't wrong. Yeah. I mean, I've beaten.
You're not wrong.
You
No,
ain't
I'm talking
wrong.
about Mega Man Zero. Why is Zero 1, 2? Why is Mega Man Zero the Dark Souls in terms of difficulty for Mega Man? There's no reason for this.
Capcom.
No, Capcom knows better than that.
You would think
Do
so.
they though? Do they really?
I hate to go that deep, but do they?
I can trust Capcom to make quality games. I can't trust them to
That's a lot of
count 1,
trust.
2, 3.
I'm
I
sorry.
have to count on them on 1, 2,
I'm sorry.
Turbo, Rainbow
Alpha, New Generation.
Oh, that's a
Double
Shadow's
Strike,
right. That is a lot of
Impact.
trust. That's a shitload of trust.
Oh god.
Anyways, so yeah, you can find me on Instagram at National Scarlet Spider, National Green Lantern. I'm honestly not doing too much with it right now because not a lot's going on. It's New Year, but Omicron's a thing.
The Decepticon is real. The Decepticon is real.
And remember, if we're making Unicron jokes, remember, he is a toy that eats other toys.
Sounds kinky.
You know what?
No, that is literally what Orson Welles said in an interview. The only interview he made for this, like, Orson, what do you think of the movie? I think I play a toy that eats other toys.
I saw him going.
I miss them so much.
I saw him going the Futurama joke for a second.
Look, if you miss him so much, just go watch The Brain. It's the same character.
Oh Lord. Well, Shadow, I'll go ahead and show your. I'll go ahead and show your site, sir, for Shadow Creates Entertainment on YouTube. But where else can they find you, sir?
Just follow everything through Shadow Creators right now. It's the beginning of the year. I'm trying to take it slow with a new schedule. Like right now, I'm in the process of recording just a bunch of stuff and putting out whatever I can towards the end of every. So that's my plan for this year: is take the first couple of weeks, just record what I can, plan it out a little bit, and then drop videos. Right now, what you can expect, which have been doing this entire episode, is my first Pokemon playthrough, kind of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond.
Okay.
So the snow that ruined my plans.
It ruined everybody's plans, sir.
I have no plans to ruin.
I had a Playboy plans, so that's the whole thing. But anyway, yeah. Luckily, we managed to reschedule. I might see her Sunday, but anyway, whatever. I had to revamp. So instead of shooting a Playboy button last night, I instead
you need a drink.
I had one as soon as I came home from work the other night. Trust me. I was hot. Anyway, so gameplay with both me and my nephew. This series will be the first video series of playthroughs I would do. I'm gonna see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm going to work with your nephew on Smash because that was brutal,
Oh yeah,
That was brutal.
I told him.
That was an ass whooping / tuition learning right there. That was
Do I have to get on this? Do I have to buy this game and bride Terry?
yes, because
might as
apparently
well.
we have to help his nephew because Shadow decided just to go Sith level on him, and I'm not mad that Shadow did that to him because that makes him a better gamer. But I was like,
I bought Sora and that was it. Game over. I mean, it was already game over before, but like I bought Sora and spent like an hour with him before he came over. That's it. Game over. So, but no.
Does that mean your second video series is going to be Kamen Rider Memories?
Yes, because I haven't. I'm using my Switch and stuff now more. So
I'm on this because he's had my game for a year.
Look. Muggle jobs suck, but I'm not playing this year. This is technically year 11, but I didn't really get a chance to celebrate year 10 last year, so I'm actually going to make this year 10.1, or in Kingdom Hearts speak 10.9. So actually, you know what? That's it.
365 plus 2 over 1 divided by 5.
This is going to be Shadow King anniversary, 10.9 anniversary. There you go. But so expect some stuff from that. A lot of once stuff dies down and we get some more collabs and everything. Me and Joe are definitely gonna work on some stuff with Power Rangers. I want to do more. I don't want my channels to suffer anymore for me not doing anything. And that's why I've got the schedule now of 2 weeks, write, edit, do whatever needs to be done. Last couple of weeks, plan what you want to drop and then wait till later. So we'll see how that does me.
All right.
As I die real quick.
As you die. Grandma's cough medicine, huh?
Okay.
But thank you for that, Shadow. So again, guys, like I said, Shadow Creative Entertainment on YouTube, and also some other shameless plugging that I got that I'm gonna do before we call it night, guys. I definitely want to shout out a good friend of mine, Vaughn. You can find him, especially on Facebook. Get Vaughn Westman on Facebook, Big BZ out on socials. As he will be returning back to podcasting very soon with his Smoky Trailer Sundays every Sunday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. What is Smoky Trailer Sundays? It's basically his review of movies, television, and video games he finds interesting and definitely wants to share them with you. He also has the RAF, which is like America's Funniest Home Videos, except done by World Star, so only for the grown and intended, every Tuesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. But definitely check him out, Levon Westman on Facebook and Big BZA on all socials. Also, shout out to Ari and Gee Present Geek Salad for allowing us to share our podcast on their page, guys. A couple guys I met last year, very smart, very funny guys. Hope to have them again on Get Bit very soon, but you can definitely check them out. Geeks Out on Facebook and on YouTube, as you're seeing right there. Definitely talks about everything pop culture and everything away from pop culture. And trust me, for Ari, who's probably watching this right now, Zack Snyder still cannot direct the movie. And yes, DC Universe was ruined because of him. Argue with me if you want to. I got receipts.
Shots fired. Dang.
Yes, I do that to him purposely. But definitely give those guys a like and a follow. Also, the link that you're seeing streaming at the bottom is basically mine. If you copy and paste that in your browser, we'll take you to my link tree for the YouTube and Facebook groups for all of my podcasts. How the we got here, Get Bit, and of course the Offense podcast. Of course, as you can see, guys, and also shout out to Rick's Comic City, who also do support the Get Bit Cop podcast. We cannot thank them enough. If you can definitely go and support them, as they have been awarded Nashville's award for best comic book shop. Locations. You can find them in Fort Campbell, Clarksville, and in Donaldson. So definitely check them out if you can and buy if you can. I know Joe, I can't show his entire area, but Joe has a library. I can't even call it a collection anymore. It is now a library. Say what, Joe?
The bottom of the shelf is nothing but X-Men.
I love it.
I believe that.
Oh no, I take that back. The bottom of the shelf is X-Men and Thunderbolts.
Of course, it's Thunderbolts.
He's a Citizen V fan. Of course, he's gonna be.
Hey, that should be your new cosplay.
Oh no, I am not going through that. If anything, I'm gonna do the Beetle from the mediocre Spider-Man.
Dang.
I mean, he's not wrong. That Spider-Man is fine. Look, that Spider-Man makes Ultimate Spider-Man, which I already love, look like a masterpiece. Which it is.
He's not wrong.
which is most definitely not, but
still, dang. Aside from that, guys, speaking of libraries, I know Joe, I did mention he has a library. I know Shadow, as you can see from his location, he is sitting in a library, and I'm just a guy that has way too many electronics and is scared of his power bill when it comes in every month. But speaking of libraries, guys, oh yeah, you ride along with me. You ride along with me. But speaking of libraries, if you're unable to get to a comic book store, understand that libraries do carry the most updated mangas, comic books, and multimedia. So at the cost of $1 of a library card, you definitely can go into any library and still be caught up on everything pop culture and sci-fi to your heart's content. They are the last living bastions of free literature, and definitely a book is an adventure in its hands. I know with Amazon and Comixology, they all have digital media which you can follow, but Stan Lee has said it best about comic books. Comic books are much like boobs. They feel great once they're in your hand.
Yes, they do.
So definitely check out library. So definitely check out libraries if you can in your own spot. And aside from that, guys, like I said, I do want to thank shout out for being on with us, dude. I know you are a very busy man, and I know you are part of our group, and we're so glad you're able to join us. I know you had this grand plan where you wanted to put us all in this one room, and I know I don't want to dredge it up. It's still going to happen. We are not, we're not going to give up on that. I still want to be able to have discussions with all of us in the same room. It will still get together, and I'm not worried about that. And of course, my co-pilot Joe, who's always going to come up with something, and I'm surprised he did not try to break me this podcast. I'm surprised.
Wait, what have I been missing? Jeez.
He makes it a point to make me mess up on the outro. He's been pretty successful at it so far. It's like today it was nothing. That's
deliciously evil of you. I love it.
By the way, don't forget, Beta Ray Bill's very bad week is release and trade. And it's not a Treasury edition. I'm so sad.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
I can't even imagine what it's going to be.
Oh, it's going to be funny. It's gonna be messed up because I finally started reading back. I finally started getting some back issues, and I started reading where Joe's already read it, and I was like, damn. Say. But with that being said, guys, last thing we'll say before we got here again, please be aware Mother Nature is still having her hold my beer, especially if you're in the South. We are going to be thawing out hopefully tomorrow and Sunday. But aside from that, guys, like we said before, the Decepticon is out there. I'm not going to be biased about saying this. Please get vaccinated. Please wear a mask. Please, if you are sick, stay home wherever you are. And also, like I said before, help us get these numbers down, because I'm speaking on behalf of Joe, who is a healthcare professional. Lord knows he goes through it. I'm not even going to try to quantify that. I'm just going to leave it up to, I'm going to let Joe explain that thing one day. But help him like his job, help him love his job, help him do his job without actually causing murder. Not to say that Joe has not to say that Joe has homicidal tendencies, but do you want to mess with a guy that can make you disappear in the one place nobody will go looking for you?
Atlanta?
I'm just saying, you don't want to disappear in a hospital.
Oh, I love that.
And if anybody needs fire kindling, please know that Naomi season 1 got released on Tradeback.
Dang.
Wow. Okay. Jesus, Joe. The show hasn't even started yet. You can wait till the show starts.
Well, Joe, tell us how you really feel.
Brian Michael Bendis keeps making characters that take their comics, and Naomi can't even sustain her own book. Anytime you put her in another book, it loses sales or gets canceled.
Oh,
I love the fact that he's not wrong.
Yeah, for $16.99, you can get some premium fire kindling.
Oh my God!
He is not wrong. The track record adds up. He's not wrong.
God.
But with that being said, guys, again, thank you all for watching. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for letting people know that we were live and sharing it. We really appreciate it. This will be up and live on YouTube and on Facebook after a little bit of quick editing. But aside from that, guys, let us know what you think. What did you think of Spider-Man No Way Home? What did you think of Sony maybe going out and doing their own thing in the universe? What do you think is going to happen in Doctor Strange? What do you think is going to happen in Morbius? What do you think is going to happen with I think we only have five MCU movies this year. Is it 5 or 4?
Well,
a couple have been pushed back. So
a couple have been pushed back, and don't forget we also got the TV series because we got She-Hulk and Ms. Marvel this year too.
That's right. So let us know what you think about.
Also,
I was like, go ahead.
Remember how we couldn't have Rom or Bug because of legal
because Hasbro, right?
Yeah. So turns out Gargantos is supposed to be Shumagorath. They just don't have the rights to use the name Shumagorath.
Really?
So it's not mutant, it's enhanced. I feel like we've done this dance before.
It looks
honestly that kind of makes
like Shumagorath.
Honestly, that makes me a little bit sad because Gargantos soft confirms Namor's in the universe somewhere.
Well,
yeah. So it's the enhanced dance all over again. God. But anyway, thanks guys for watching. That's been Shadow.
He broke me. That's it.
Shadow's about to lose it. Joe has done his job of breaking somebody else in the outro, and it wasn't me. And I've been Will, and this has been the Give It Podcast this evening, guys. Thank you all for watching. We are out. Peace.